Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about NRG and the 3 things I think they can do better to improve their chances, both online but especially on LAN. Now obviously NRG are an exceptional team. They've had great success in the past Rocket League season and this season as well. So yeah, they don't need my help, but there are some things that I think they could do even better to perform at an even higher level than they already do. And obviously everything in this video is just my opinion. So you guys can let me know in the comments what you think. We're going to take a look at some games from the Birmingham Major though. The first one here is Beast Mode POV against the Ultimates. This is Game 7 of their semi-final match against the Ultimates. High pressure situation, really important match. If they can win this one, they're into another LAN Grand Final. That would be 4 consecutive RLCS LAN Grand Finals if they can do it, which would be just an unbelievable accomplishment. But as most of you will already know, spoiler alert, yeah, they didn't do it. They missed it this time by a game, and we're going to see in this game just how that happened. But I didn't pick this game as a pinpoint, this is the reason they didn't make it kind of vibe. I just needed one game that would illustrate the first thing I think they can do better, and that is taking their time. I think NRG can take their time in certain situations and just have a little bit more success rate with their shots, clears, saves, timing of arrival, just in general. I think that they rush into situations in these big moments, high pressure situations. They tend to just try to go full speed, and it doesn't always work out. I think it was Atomic at Worlds. This game we're going to see Beast Mode have a couple of clear-cut chances, not be able to put either of them away. Atomic also has a chance in this game to get either a pass or a solo play going, and he just kind of bashes the ball away. I'll try and look out for when it happens, but like I said, it's not a Beast Mode thing, it's not an Atomic thing, it's the team-wide thing. The whole team, in my opinion, just kind of don't slow the game down and change the pace of the game. They just get into this mode where they're trying to go supersonic all the time. They're trying to go as fast as possible all the time, trying to hit the ball as hard as possible all the time. This is something that works really well for them online in NA, because there aren't really any teams other than Ultimates who can keep up with them and their synergy, their mechanics, their individual ability, their efficiency and speed on the pitch. Everything combined, they just go in, bash the ball about, probably win. Alright, see you guys next event. Another trophy in the cabinet. But online that doesn't, or on LAN I should say, that doesn't work. You need to have a bit more poise in certain situations. You need to have the ability to just take time on the ball when you've got it. And that's something I think NRG could overall improve at. It's very easy to just say, oh well, NRG should just score their open nets and they'd be a better team. Well, duh. But we've got to look at what's causing the open net misses to occur. What's causing them to make mistakes, missing touches in defense, crucial touches in defense occasionally. I think they're just rushing. I think overall they're trying to go too quickly. They're not taking their time when there is time to be taken. It's all going to be offense, by the way. This is one that's technically an open net that Beast Mode's missed. I don't think he knew it's going to be open there because he couldn't see where first killer was. So that's understandable, but yeah, they're very eager, so eager to get the attack going, the double commit in offense, something we don't often see from them there. Very eager to get the goal as soon as possible. They're definitely playing high pace right now, so are Ultimates. Touched by Atomic as well, just not really going anywhere. Just smashes it across the box. No one's there for the pass. It's not near enough to the goal to really register even as a shot. So yeah, it's all very rushed in this game, and it's all very rushed for NRG in a lot of high pressure situations. Like I was going to say, all of the things I bring up in this video, that's number one, is NRG needs to stop rushing. Say, miss another open net. Beast Mode finds the bar with a new crossbar sound. Everything I'm going to talk about in this video will be offense related, because NRG's defense I still think is the best in the world. Last season it definitely was. This season maybe a little bit more dodgy, but still very, very impressive defensively. But scoring goals has been an issue for them. They had the 2nd lowest goals per game out of any team at the Birmingham Major, including the Swiss stage matches. All 16 teams, they were ranked 15. And in playoffs, I think they were only ahead of Ultimates. Furia, Falcons, Vitality, and Karmi Corp all ranked above them in the top 6 of the playoffs, actually. I'm not sure what GK and Twisted Minds had, but yeah, all the teams who played at least twice in the playoffs. Not many goals for NRG, unfortunately. But this was a bit of a heartbreaker here. Good bump by LJ. First skiller gets control, takes the ball into the box, and does get the goal. So plenty chances for NRG, half chances. They've had 8 shots to 4. They're not able to convert on any of them, and then this at the end of the game was just absolutely ridiculous. We had another great chance. If Beast Mode if he just dinks that into the post, it's wide open for Atomic. But you wanted the goal right there. You wanted to make up maybe for his earlier miss. Tried to smash it home, hits the post, and even worse, it bounced up to safety. So they do end up losing this game and getting eliminated from the competition. But as I get into the next thing I think NRG could improve on, let's get into another replay. Going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to watch First Killer POV against NRG. I'll explain it in a second. Now, while we're talking about ways that NRG can work on their game, remember you guys can also work on your own Rocket League game with the help of the Next Rank. We've got a YouTube channel where myself and apparently Jack are uploading weekly content to help you guys get better at Rocket League. Be sure to check it out. Check out the course as well if you're interested in taking your game to the next level. Alright, like I said, First Killer POV against NRG here. We're going to watch this game, and then we're also going to watch First Killer POV against Carmine Corp. And you might be thinking, well, that's a bit weird. This is an NRG video. What are we doing here? But I want you guys to pay attention to what it's like to play against NRG from the Ultimates POV, and then look what it's like to play against Carmine Corp from the Ultimates POV, because I think that will really illustrate the differences between how Carmine Corp are playing Rocket League and how NRG are playing Rocket League. Obviously, they both play Rocket League very well. The Carmine Corp are the best team in the world at the moment, so we're going to see what are the differences, the key differences between NRG and, well, the best team in the world, a team who I think have a better offense at the moment than NRG do. Now, two things I want you guys to pay attention to. We're just going to go through. We've already talked about NRG maybe rushing too much. The other two things I want to talk about are NRG's over-focus on big boost pads, and also their lack of midfield, shall we say, spread. The easiest way to notice this one, the second one you're going to need to use your eyes more. The first one I've got stats for you to help you understand. The second one there, the kind of midfield spread. Whenever First Killer, but whenever Ultimates in general are trying to clear the ball, whenever they're trying to advance the ball up the pitch, notice how much space they've got to do that. And I've picked here the game where NRG generated the most shots against the Ultimates. I didn't handpick a game where NRG didn't have any offense. This game they had 12 shots against the Ultimates, more than they had any other game in this series. This is a game from earlier in the series, of course, from the one we just watched. That was Game 7, this is Game 3. But notice how many different clearing angles you've got in all the different scenarios this game. But while you're doing that, let me throw some stats at you to explain the over-focus on big boost pads. That's, I think, something NRG have been and still do too much, and it's focusing on stealing big boosts, securing big boosts, and maybe neglecting small boosts in comparison. But yeah, I was kind of surprised when I read some of these stats, but let me tell you what I'm talking about here. Just for reference, KC players, Carmine Corp players on average, throughout the entire playoffs in Birmingham, had 3% more boost combined. So if you added up all the boost on all the Carmine Corp players, and took an average throughout the entire playoffs, they had 3% more than NRG players did combined. So Carmine Corp, slightly higher boost. They did that while also picking up less boost, 3% less boost. So NRG picked up 3% more boost, Carmine Corp on average had 3% more boost. So definitely better boost management by a small margin. Nothing too crazy though. But here's where I think it gets interesting, maybe just for a nerd like me, but I hope you guys are the stat lovers as well. NRG collected 12% more big pads than Carmine Corp did. That's quite a big difference. Even bigger difference is Carmine Corp collected 16% more small pads than NRG. So Carmine Corp clearly more small pad focused, NRG more on the big pads. That's even more exaggerated when it comes to stealing pads. NRG stole 17% more big pads per game than Carmine Corp did, and Carmine Corp stole 33% more small pads. Stealing a small pad just means you've taken a small pad in the opponent's half. That counts as a small pad stolen when it's in the opponent. I think it might actually just be the ones in the final third, not near the halfway line. But yeah, taking small pads. Carmine Corp way more focused on that. And unsurprisingly, with Carmine Corp's focus on small pads and NRG's focus on big pads, NRG spent more time on 100 boost. They were on 100 boost, 33% more than Carmine Corp were. Carmine Corp, however, had 0 boost less often. NRG had 0 boost, 20% more than KC did. So it seems like KC, nice fake there. There's that slow play that I talked about, Beast Mode getting a goal there, slowing the game down. That was the first thing I think NRG could do more often, if you remember. Yeah, Karmine Corp, even though they pick up overall less boost, they pick up way fewer big boost pads I should say. They still end up boost starved less often than NRG. NRG 20% more of the time one of their players will be on 0 boost. And that's the entire playoffs, but it also manifests itself in the series played against the Ultimates. So obviously I said we're going to watch Ultimates POV against these two teams. NRG stole 17 big boost pads per game against the Ultimates. KC only stole 12.5. However, KC stole 82 small boost pads versus the Ultimates. NRG only stole 68. So again, doesn't matter what the matchup is, KC far more focused on stealing small boost pads, securing small boost pads, and trying to just dominate the central areas of the pitch, not going wide, not going deep for the big boosts as much as NRG are, not sticking upfield to go all the way into the offensive corner and take that away. They do take a lot of them, but nowhere near as much as NRG, of course. With that being said, KC boost-starved Ultimates more than NRG did. You'd think that it would be NRG with their focus on big boost pad steals, but no, it's actually, statistically, the time spent on 0 boost was higher for the Ultimates against Karmine Corp. So those small boost pad steals, I think, could be underrated. This could be one of the secrets to Karmine Corp's success, and maybe this is less of a what can NRG do better video, more of a what can everybody do better video. But if there's one villain for the big boost pad game, it's NRG. These guys are the top big boost pad merchants in the in the playoffs at Birmingham. Yeah, I'll leave you guys with those stats for now, and let's just look at the gameplay. Notice how overall the game you've been watching and the rest of the game you're going to see, it looks, you know, at times a bit scary, very scary, because NRG are a scary team, but you don't really get the sense of where on earth are we supposed to go. That's a great save by FairJame there. But you don't really get too much of a sense of, okay, there's no way out of this. It does look like, and there were many times this game and many times this series where Ultimates broke free from NRG's pressure, got the ball back into the midfield, got the ball back into NRG's half. It felt more like a back and forth, whereas everybody played against KC, you just feel like you're stuck in defense and that's your game now. You're just going to play defense simulator for the rest of the game. And there's no way out. Part of that, I think, is the focus on small pads, but like I said, the other part of that is the spread, the lateral spread that KC have. You'll see it more clearly in the KC game that we watch next, but G2 tend to stack up in a line with first man close, second man behind, and the third behind again, whereas KC are more, you know, spread out in a different formation, a lateral kind of formation, covering left, covering right, pointing their cars in different directions so that when the ball changes direction, they've got somebody already prepared to move in that direction and go for it. Whereas it seems to me like NRG just overall, and this, like I said, is more of an eye test thing, less of a statistics thing. It seems to me that NRG move as a unit. Everybody's going one way, everybody's going the other way. Everybody's on one side of the pitch, everybody's on the other side of the pitch. And with KC, it's a little bit more spread out. Very nice goal at the end of this game, by the way, by Chronic. Really impressive air dribble bump pass to set up FairJame. Great game. NRG did produce 12 shots, could only convert one of them. And it was some stellar defense by Ultimates. Talked about NRG being good defensively. Ultimates are as well. But like I said, let's get into a game of KC against FairJame and see if you guys can spot the differences between FairJame and just the overall feel of the game against KC when compared to the game we just watched. Okay, here we are, game 2 of the grand final. FairJame POV against Karmine Corp. Karmine Corp get a pretty similar shot per minute total to the game we just saw from NRG. So very comparable game, I think. Both NRG and Karmine Corp able to produce a lot of offense, but the differences for me are just how much more, well, for lack of a better word, deadly the KC offense looks. That able to produce scarier, harder to stop chances. That, yeah, unfortunately for ultimates, they weren't able to withstand. But KC obviously have a lot more going for them than just picking up small boost pads and putting chances away, putting away open nets. They're incredible players, incredibly mechanical players. Fair, their coach, thinks they've got the 3 best players in the world on the same team, and looking at how they dominated, he's got a decent argument for that fact. It's already 1-0. Atto quickly converting. But what I want you to pay attention to this game, you know, we've got the stats for boost, but really look at how KC spread out whenever a clear ball is about to happen. Whenever an Ultimates player has a touch in defense, whenever an Ultimates player is trying to air dribble, or make a passing play, whatever, a clear ball out of defense, notice how difficult it is to get the ball past all of KC. KC aren't perfect with it. That was a bad play right there by them. These guys are not playing perfect Rocket League. They're just playing better Rocket League than everybody else. And really the difference, at least when I watch them compared to everyone else, is how suffocating their offense feels. When you watch international teams attack, the only team that can really compare to KC in terms of pressure generated is Falcons. But the difference is Falcons feel like they're on a knife edge between scoring and getting scored on the entire time. It feels like, okay, they're either going to score or get counter-attacked the entire time that they're attacking. When KC attack, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like they're just going to keep attacking and eventually they're going to get a goal. Scary offense to go up against. They've got the pressure that Falcons do without the danger of overextending. And I think it's all about how well they spread themselves around, hover different angles, have players moving in different positions. That's an unreal pass by Drally, by the way. Pinch middle. Atto's there to finish it off 2-0. Yes, compared to NRG, and I know we've only watched 1 game of NRG against Ultimates, but you can go watch the whole series if you want to, and you'll see a similar pattern throughout the entire series. But compared to the 1 game, actually we watched 2 games for NRG Ultimates, but the whole series was very similar. NRG do give more space. They do tend to just back off all the way, go for big pads more often, and KC will not do that. They'll just steal small pads, stay in the attack on the small pads, spread out around the edge of the box, have both sides of the pitch covered, ball switches size, no problem, someone's there, and it's just a lot harder to get these guys out of their attacking rhythm. It becomes more of a fight. I mean, we're getting the ball to the midfield there for a second, and then it's right back into defense. Now finally First Killer does advance the ball. But yeah, in summary, differences, or not differences, sorry, things NRG I think can improve on, and maybe just the rest of the Rocket League world in general can improve on, although I do have some different things I would suggest for other teams if you guys want to see me make other videos like this one. Things NRG can improve on, definitely taking time when they've got time. I think they could take more touches on the ball. Don't just bang it, don't just zoom around the pitch, don't just go full speed, full power, full send everything. Take some time, show some composure. That's I think the number 1 thing that they should work on. Number 2, less reliance on big boost pads. Use the small boost pads more. Look to steal those more, because KC are miles ahead of them in that regard. And then number 3, you're going to hopefully be able to see it a little bit from watching how KC play against Ultimates versus how NRG play them, is try to spread their midfield defense out more, try to have players covering clears on opposite sides of the pitch, have players ready to make moves in opposite directions. If somebody's covering left, somebody else should cover right. Doesn't always mean that they're positioned differently, it just means that they could be orientated differently as well. And yeah, it looks like it's not just, oh dear, it's not just G2 need to take their time with their shots, as unfortunately for the Ultimates they also struggle with the free opportunities. It's probably an Ultimates thing as well. Yeah, spoilers for the Ultimates video. I think I would maybe put that one in there. Also, the first comment we had this video, just taking your time, picking the spots out, and it's going to be 3-0 Ultimates overextend, but down 2-0 with not a lot of time left. That's going to happen, and they do end up in a pretty rough position. But yeah, what do you guys think? That's my little bit statistical, little bit eye test read on NRG's biggest weaknesses at the moment. I think that the second and third one are probably just as much things Karming Corp are doing well as things that NRG need to work on. But the first one, yeah, definitely NRG they'll be kicking themselves about that. They already know that. They know that they need to take those chances. They won't be making excuses saying, oh, it's high pressure game 7, whatever. Nah, they know they've got to take those chances. They've got to put those shots away. They've got to make those key defensive touches and show composure if they're going to beat the best teams in the world and if they're going to beat a team like Karming Corp. But yeah, like I said, guys, if you want to see me make videos like this for other teams, let me know in the comments. I also want to remind you all to check the links in the description for the nextrank.com/free or free Rocket League course for myself and apparently Jack. Also check out the Discord server if you want to read testimonials, meet other people who have bought the course or are interested in buying and just in general getting better at Rocket League, and check out the Shotcast Discord and Patreon as well while you're at it. That's all I've got for this one though. NRG, brilliant team, but some things to improve on if they want to be KC level. All my opinion. You guys can argue in the comments if you want to. All good. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.